My name is Sid Snitkin. I'm a Vice President with ARC Advisory Group, and we're here today with Dirk Seewald from Innominate Security Technologies, and we're going to be discussing ICS cybersecurity. Welcome, Dirk.
Thank you, Sid. It's my pleasure.
You know, everybody in the industry seems to be talking about Stuxnet these days, and I would get your impression upon whether you think that's a serious threat or whether it's something that people should be dealing with, and how sensitive is that?
Stuxnet has awakened the industry. Everybody who is dealing with cybersecurity and industrial control systems know that the cyber threat is real, and we in our Western world with relatively stable and secure physical environments have a challenge of understanding that the internet basically is the Wild West. So we have to make sure that all the systems that we interconnect and that we connect to the internet are being properly secured.
Given that, what do you see as let me say, the two biggest challenges for manufacturers and processors, let's say now in 2013, with respect to industrial control system cybersecurity?
If we look at new concepts that we're talking about here also at this ARC World Industry Forum, such as information-driven manufacturing or Industry 4.0, as we call it in Europe and in Germany, we talk about large and huge amounts of data that are traveling within the organization, across organizational borders, even across country borders. And we have to make sure that these data are securely transmitted. We talk about tightly integrating processes with our supply chain, with our suppliers, with their suppliers, and we have to make sure that the additional risk that we introduce into our production processes with this sort of is not outweighed by the benefits, or the other way around. And the second challenge actually is getting our legacy system interconnected and getting systems that are in the ground already for decades, 20, sometimes 30 years, and to have them interconnect into this sort of whole new world. That's a big challenge. It's a huge challenge that our customers are faced with, and where we very often have situations where we cannot touch the equipment anymore because it's either certified or whether sort of the whole system works and you don't want to touch it. So you have to find ways and means to actually connect it. It's a huge challenge that we are currently facing.
One of the things I hear from my clients a lot is they're relying upon their automation companies to help them get through this situation with certain advanced services and things like that. How is your company, if it is, helping those types of automation suppliers with that issue?
Thanks for this question. We do indeed. Many of these services that automation suppliers provide to their customers more and more in future are related to getting access to remote systems, doing predictive maintenance, doing instant support on these systems. And what automation suppliers need for doing this is a secure access to these systems. They don't send around engineers too often. They don't want to. So what we rely on actually, again, is also secure infrastructure, how to transmit in an encrypted, authenticated way information back and forth. And that's what we actually do. Innominate has a broad portfolio of products and solutions for actually doing this, providing encrypted, secure communication channels.
You know, I know your company, and I know that many of the manufacturers and processors know your company and know them well. The people on the plant floor, let me say that. How long do you think it'll take for the people at the IT level to understand the issues and recognize, you know, your company name as easily as I do?
I hope it won't take too long, and I'm actually very positive in this regard, much more positive than I was 5 or 6 years ago. Why am I positive? I'm positive because people are talking now to each other. People are willing to understanding the challenges of each side. We hear this also at this conference here, and I hear this with my customers, with our customers, that the community meanwhile understands that it sort of does only work if we work together. So my hope is that it'll take a very short time. It took us like 10 years to be recognized at the factory floor, so definitely it will be shorter.
No, that's good news. I assume you're thinking about the cloud and things like that, but what impact do you believe the cloud computing will have on your company and on this topic in general, let me say?
It's a big topic. It's a very big opportunity also for everybody. So for our company, I must say, we already use cloud computing. We use Salesforce.com as our CRM system, so we do it in this regard. But for our customers, it might have an even bigger impact. And the bigger impact might be if processes that are traditionally core processes are moved or data are moved into the cloud. And here I think it is very important that we think of cloud computing not just as sort of the general cloud, the internet, but especially about private clouds. And I think that will be part of the future in the industrial world, to have a number of private clouds, private trusted clouds. I think that's what we need.
You know, I know a lot of companies in cybersecurity, one of the big areas is energy, the energy industry. How does that play in your plans for the future, and companies' products and so on?
The energy industry is a very important industry that, of course, we are targeting products for. Again, here we also have the challenge of hyperconnectedness, as I call it. We have massive amounts of data that needs to be transmitted, that needs to be coordinated. And of course, energy is one of the critical infrastructures in all parts of the world, so we have to take special care of cybersecurity here too. So Innominate has products that are currently being used to provide secure communications at energy companies.
Thank you, Dirk. That was very helpful.
I thank you, Sid. It's my pleasure.
Thank you for listening. This is Sid Snitkin. We are coming from ARC Advisory Group Forum in Orlando, Florida, and we just interviewed Dirk Seewald of Innominate Security Technologies.